Hello my gorgeous ones, welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, eyeshadow palettes, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I realized I need to squeeze in my winter palettes, all my top winter palettes to show you guys because I almost started gathering all of my Valentine's palettes and thought, wait, I need to do winter first. I already told you guys I was gonna do a winter palettes video. So here it is. I have 18 palettes that I chose out of my collection that say winter to me or that make me wanna pull them out during winter time. So if you wanna see these 18 palettes, maybe get a little winter palette inspo yourself, keep on watching. All right, you guys, so 18, there's no significance to that number. That just happens to be how many I pulled out. And I'm in the era of just, I don't care if it's even, if it makes sense. If I want to pull them out, I'm going to show them. That is just my 2024 attitude, or I really started that end of 2023. So all right, let's go ahead and get into some of these palettes. I'm going to start with the drugstore first. So this is a Believe Beauty palette. This brand is at Dollar General. Everything is under $5. So I believe this palette is about $5, or it's $5 and under. This is the Midnight Express palette. And it's just a cute little 6-pan that you can do a smoky eye with. You've got blues in here. You've got a nice little champagne that you can pop in the inner corner. I like that there's a black matte and a bone matte in here. These are really, really nice quality. I'd say they are more so worth $10 to $15 instead of $5. Are they going to be just, you know, the most amazing formula in the world? No. But if you are a beauty on a budget, these are really, really good eyeshadow palettes. The next one is another affordable. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon palette, the Lights Off palette. And this is such a pretty little palette. You've got neutrals in here, and then you also have like your deep green. You've got a deeper charcoal shimmer. You've got, and these are kind of shifty too. You've got like a blue, platinum, silver. Who am I and why can't I speak today? Oh my goodness. Then you've got the black matte that you can deepen up. This one kind of says like winter, kind of says fall to me. Really, you could wear this year round, but something about it, just when I open it up, I'm like, this says winter to me. And you also have this beautiful sparkly kind of pewter in here that I think of kind of like icy look. So really nice drugstore one. Then we have my beloved tin pans from Profusion. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I rave about these all the time. This is actually, I think, my favorite. I don't know, I'm looking at them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I love this one, but I also love the emeralds one, the green one. But this Euphoria one is so good, you guys. We are talking, these mattes perform so well. These are $5. $5 for a tin pan. They are so good. I love this one right here. Is a really sparkly, soft shimmer that has like little reflex of, let me see if I can get it to show up here. It has little reflex of blue and purple, and it's just so metallic and awesome. I love it. And then you have beautiful silver shimmers in here as well. Honestly, this is like one of my favorite. I didn't rank these, but it would be towards the top. It's that good, and it's super cheap. Okay, the last of the drugstore is the Profusion Casper palette. I did a video on this. I've pulled it out a couple of times since. I really, really enjoy this palette. When I think winter, I do think of blues. I think of silvers. It's not too far off from New Year's for me, except I'm not really looking so much at like golds like New Year's. I'm looking at moody, cool tones, and like maybe like cool tone purples, silver, gray, blue. Anyway, so that's mainly what this palette is. You have a couple of random like warmer tones in here, but for the most part, this says winter to me. Okay, moving on to some indie palettes. So we have the Bookish Beauty palette by Copacetic. You guys, this is such a good palette, and I think that it got really overlooked whenever it came out. It is stunning. Copacetic does all their own shadows. They hand make them, hand press them. And for that reason, it takes a little bit longer to get your products sometimes, but it's worth it. Their quality is so nice. This was in collaboration with Panda Replay from Instagram. She's so cute. She has a beautiful smile. She does really fun indie brand looks. And I adore this fantasy shade right here. It is actually, it looks so green in the monitor, but when I look down at it, let me just show you. It has a beautiful blue shift to it. It is so, so pretty. I also adore this one up here. It's kind of a blurple. I love this cool tone purple in here, this blue as well. This is such a good palette. It makes me want to use this tomorrow, getting it out and looking at it. Okay, then we have the Silent Night palette from Gourmand Girls and Doodles by the Bunny. So this is the most recent palette from Gourmand Girls, and this was their holiday palette, an untraditional color story. But I really think that it was so smart because it didn't just pigeonhole them into, well, that's a Christmas palette. Now Christmas is over and I can't use it. This is ultimately a winter palette. And I just think it, increases the longevity of seasonal wear. Of course, you can wear this all year round, but I love the silvers in here. I don't really necessarily, like I was saying, gold isn't really like wintry to me, but you can wear them during the winter. But the silvers in here, this shimmer right here is a like lavender silver, the blues. I adore this palette. It is really good. It is one that I think just keeps getting better over time. Then we have what has been just one of my favorite cool tone palettes. I've gotten it out a million times and shown you guys. It is the Eternal Eclipse by Lunar Beauty. I think this will always be my favorite packaging. And honestly, it's the first palette that I really started to fall in love with from Lunar Beauty. I have a whole bunch of other ones, but man, there was something about this one, and really it's this row. This row speaks to me because I love a smoky look. I love grays. I love the blues in here. But then you also have a gorgeous silver. I really stick more so to this color is kind of a mauve, neutrally mauve. So like this one, this row, and these two have been my favorites in this palette. But this will always, I don't know, man, well, the next one is Siren Sunset. I was gonna say, I really love this palette too, but Eternal Eclipse will probably always have my heart. But here's the Siren Sunset by Lunar Beauty, and I do think winter whenever I see this. Of course, you've got neutrals in here that you can wear year round, anytime, but then it draws into these deeper, moodier shades here. And I love the multi-chromes in here as well. I really hope that he continues doing multi-chromes in his palette because I think it really elevated the quality. All right, next up, we have another one that keeps popping up in my rankings or my recommendations, and that is the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. So I have a video on this, and I continue, you guys, this will never not blow my mind. So I continue to try to get a gray look out of this. I'm looking at this in the monitor, and this sucker looks silver gray charcoal as can be. I cannot get a silver gray charcoal look out of this palette. They all pull blue on me, which is fine because I love blues, and I do think of blues, cool tone blues for winter, so I don't mind. I still love it. It just baffles me that my skin pulls at this blue, but really great quality. I really love the special shades in here. I can get a silver out of here for a shimmer, but mattes, it ain't happening. Okay, then we have Catkin Cosmetics. This may not be one that everyone is familiar with. This is a Chinese beauty brand, and this is the cocktail palette C14. And this is, you guys, this palette is underrated, or Catkin maybe in general. I've been meaning to pick up another one of these 9 pans to test it out, but I was really, really impressed. This one right here is so pretty. It shifts. Let's see, let me show you guys. Okay, it's the one in the middle. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? It's like a gold to kind of like a teal to a icy blue. You guys, so good. The mattes in here are good. I highly recommend this brand. I also have a couple of lip products from them that I love. They have some of those really ornate, intricately carved lipsticks. Really good brand. I need to try more from them. Okay, next up we have the Giant Wolves palette by Odin's Eye, which this one and Soul Mane 2, I think will always be like my favorite color stories from Odin's Eye. And I mean, this absolutely screams winter to me. I mean, so I love the outside packaging with the wolves. I think it makes sense that this would be a winter color story. I always say, I just don't think that they've ever been able to capture the uniqueness, the color story, the cover art, everything as when these came out with the 3 creators, the Hummingbird palette and the Dragon palette in this one. I'm including even the Angelica, like they aren't, no. I think they are so subpar compared to these. I want them to get back to this because I have not been that interested in Odin's Eye since these. And these are really, really excellent. I actually try not to use it that much and I should just do it. But I don't know. It's like, I know they're not available. I don't want it to be gone. So I kind of look at it more as a collector's, but I need to use it. Okay, next up we have the Heaven on Earth palette by Sydney Grace. And I honestly think this one is kind of a perfect spring and winter palette. So I think like it's a very earthy. This is an earthy palette for sure. And you have these blues, like this row right here screams winter to me. And then you kind of like shift into spring, I think, with these tones. I love this palette. I think this is one of their best color stories if you like earthy tones. And I don't have that many earthy palettes. I may do another video. Oh, no one stole this idea unless you want to credit me. But I may do like for Earth Day. When is that? I don't know when that is, but maybe for Earth Day, I'll do top earthy palettes. I think that would be a fun idea. I just think they're very flattering on everyone. And yeah, this one, I need to use this one more too. All of my collection, I need to use more. And that's my problem. And why I'm battling the urge to buy new palettes is I want to show my palettes more love. Okay, like this one, the Berry Icy palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This was such a fun one that I think whenever it came out, everyone was like, oh, it's so pretty, and we used it, and then I think I forgot about it, and I need to definitely get this one back out. I love that you've got the blues here. This definitely is winter, and then I think this goes into, like, you could do this for Valentine's, some of these for sure. You guys know I love Simply Posh. You know, they keep getting better and better and better with their palettes, but this one was a really solid, good one. Like I said, I'm not ranking these, but this would definitely probably be my first. This is the Wicked Widow Beauty Edward Scissorhands 2 palette. I rave about this all the time, all the time. I love it. You guys know this is one of my favorite brands, and I can't say enough good things about this palette. It's still available, and I highly, highly recommend it. Her brand is the one that I get really the most excited about because I just really love how her brain works and her color stories. And now that she's really improved her formula, has her own formula, it's just so exciting. And I mean, this one right here is one of my favorite shades in here, but the blues are yummy. The greens, I don't necessarily think winter, but there's something about combining it with some of these tones in here that still can be pulled off winter. I don't know. I just love it. I love it so much. Okay, then obviously we have to include the Wonderland palette from Cosmic Brushes. definitely a winter color story. However, I do see potential of this in spring as well with some of the more like pastel-y shades in here. But you guys, this is beautiful. And I think this is one that I've grown to appreciate more and more. And, you know, again, this is where I keep battling in my head with doing what I do, bringing in more palettes, because I would love to just dedicate a month to this and just really use it. But then I wouldn't get to test out other palettes, share with you guys. And it's just really something that's been like eating away at me lately. But you guys, if you didn't pick this up and when it comes back available, I do highly recommend it. Okay, then we have the Whistler Snow Lodge from Nomad Cosmetics. I used this here recently, and I just think this is such a good, solid palette. I really liked this color story, and this one seems to be a little divisive. Some people like me really love it, and then I know some people, quite a few that I know, decluttered this palette, and I'm not sure why, because I really enjoy it. I especially love like this shimmer here. I love this blue. I adore this blue matte. And then I haven't actually played enough, I don't believe, with like these down here. I mainly stuck to these because these are more wintry, but I like this palette. If you still own it, I would suggest busting it out. Also by Nomad, we have the Love and Death palette. Obviously, I'm talking about the Death palette side. This is really quintessential winter to me. It's moody, it's dark, it's mysterious. You've got the black matte, the matte blue. I love this shimmery shade here. I love like a deep burgundy. This is also, it's like grungy winter. This just fell. Obviously, this is more like Valentine's, but yeah, if you have this one, don't forget about this side. Okay, and lastly, we have Subliminal Mothership from Pat McGrath, and I actually have a little bit of it on my eyes today. So first up, I did a look with the Unveiled palette by Sydney Grace. I have a video up of that already, and it's very beautiful. It's a very bridal pink look, and I was like, I'm filming a winter video. I need to add something that might say a little bit of winter. So I just went ahead and dipped into Subliminal, and I added the special shades, really. I added a little bit of these three. So this inner corner, this tiny little bit of blue on the outside, and then this one right here on the top of the lid. But this is one I've got to show more love to. Funny enough, even though this is the first Mothership, this is the last one that I acquired, and I have all but two. So I used to think, when I first started collecting them, I used to think this was the least interesting color story. And then I really fell in love with like cool tones, and I was like, why don't I have this palette? This is the one that I'm really drawn to, or at least in the last year. This color story I just love. Again, you can do smoky, you can get these cool tones, but you've got all the special shades in here. I adore this one right here. But then you've got, look at that shifty goodness as well. So don't forget about Subliminal. If you do own it, bust it out for the winter. All right, you guys, that is my top 18 winter vibes palette in my collection. You guys have to let me know if you have any of these yourselves. What are your favorite winter palettes? Let me know in the comments. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.